Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. I am Martina Lily, and it is that time of year for, I believe, North America and Canada. It is the Sephora VIB sale time of year, and I thought I would do a video with all of my recommendations. So hopefully that sounds interesting to you guys. If it does, go ahead and do the YouTubey things like subscribe, hit that notification bell. It just supports my channel immensely and I really appreciate it. Let's get into it. Just a couple of little housekeeping details before we get started. There will be timestamps if you're only interested in certain parts or certain recommendations. All of the products will be linked in the description box down below, or at least as many as I can fit, but there will be like a see all my recommendations here link that will take you to my shop my shelf page, and I will have all of my recommendations on that page, and they are affiliate links. So if you shop through them, thank you so much. If you are shopping through the Sephora sale and you would love to shop through my link, I would appreciate it. I do earn a commission from that. It's a small amount. I think, I don't actually know, 9% or something like that if you're wondering the inner details. And it just all goes back into supporting my channel here, and it's no extra cost to you guys, and you absolutely do not have to use my link. You do you, and or even just another of your favorite creators, because it really does support the creators that you know and love. So thank you. I am going to talk about a lot of my favorites in my collection right now. I've tried to keep it to like products that have been released this year, but some of them are older ones that I just like talk about all the time, but I'm like just reiterating in case you are wondering. I will link other Sephora favorites videos that I've done down below as well for you guys, so that you can see like other recs and they all still stand. Absolutely, they still stand. And I pretty much have like videos, actually I have videos on all of these products throughout my channel. I use all of these products really quite regularly. Some of them have like dedicated reviews and stuff. So if you want to see more info on a product or more videos on a product and how I use them, you can go onto my page and click videos, and then there's like a little search box, and you can type in the product name in that search box on my page, and it will bring up any of my videos with that product like in the description box and stuff. Also, if I can just take 30 seconds to a minute more. I know you guys want me to just get into it, but I do just want to say a really quick caveat. One, you know, it's a hectic time in this world, and my heart is going out to every single person in this world right now that's infected from one crisis or another that is going on. It is heartbreaking time. So, you know, the Sephora sale is either going to be a nice little escape for you and all the content that is coming, because, you know, this is the time of year, especially the like American YouTubers, and this is no shade or hate to anybody because I'm doing a video as well. But, you know, they will be doing a lot of like Sephora hauls and stuff like that. For me, I just like to watch those as a bit of escapism. So, you know, this might be a bit of time for you for escapism into that. If not, it might also be a time of like FOMO, stress, feeling like you're missing out, feeling like you want all of these things but can't get them, or like stretching yourself financially. And if that's the case, I just want to, one, give you a big old hug through the screen. I totally understand. Two, you know, there's no harm in taking a couple of weeks off YouTube, or like muting your creators that you're like, right now I just can't see that content. Three, feel no pressure to shop the sale, truly. I know 20% off is a discount, and discounts are all needed at this time right now, trust me. But if you don't need anything, or you don't like, you know, you don't want anything, then, you know, don't buy just because it's 20% off, because even though you might be saving that 20%, it might not be something that like you need right now, and you can just wait, and you know, that kind of thing just depends. Like, weigh it all up. The other thing I recommend is signing up to these brands' websites directly, you guys. I know the 20% off Sephora sale is like a big deal, but truly, as an Australian, because I can't shop a lot of these brands all at Sephora, for example, like a lot of these things I'll get from like multiple different retailers: Selfridges, Cult Beauty, Space NK, Mecca, Sephora, like you name it, Beautylish. I shop all over, because in Australia our Sephora doesn't have like nowhere near as many brands as what the Americans do. But what I will say is, from coming from a Australian who shops at so many different retailers and the brands directly, I recommend signing up to the brands' websites directly, especially at this time of year coming up to Black Friday. A lot of the times the brands will have better deals and better discounts than the Sephora 20% off, I swear. And especially coming up to Black Friday and stuff like that. And, you know, if the brand's located in the US or something like that, usually America gets pretty free shipping or cheap shipping. So if that's a concern for you, I'm sure the brands cater to that as well. But honestly, sign up to the brand's website. I know you get the loyalty points and everything with Sephora, but like the brands will usually do like, you know, 30% plus discounts. So just keep that in mind. And just, yeah, just feel no pressure. And also, I'm not bragging with any of this. I just know that you guys will want to see this. So it's just to help you if you are wanting to shop the guide, or sorry, the sale. I know that was a really long housekeeping. I'm sorry, but hopefully you're still here. I just wanted to kind of give that caveat of like, you know, please don't feel the pressure, you know. Let's get into my recommendations. I'm actually going to start with eyeshadow palettes. And again, I actually do, these are the brands that I'm going to talk about apart from maybe like one or two. I actually really would recommend signing up to their website and keeping an eye out for Black Friday sales, because I have a feeling a couple of these brands might do better discounts depending, I don't know. But anyway, you'll see. The actual, and this is going to surprise you guys, but the number one palette I actually recommend, this one from Danessa Myricks. So this is the Danessa Myricks Defining Neutrals palette. You guys, I use this every single day in one capacity or another. Like, I don't know if you can see, like obviously some shades are more beaten up than others. I keep this on my desk every day. I use it. I use it for my brows. I use it for, like, I love this shade right here to like tidy up one underneath my brows, but also just like to bring a little bit of brightness in here for my eyes. I love it when I want to use like my Glaminatrix Glimmering Creatures singles, and then this is just on my desk. I can throw it through the creases and stuff. I love using like this shade or this shade as like a slight little shadow contour here. I like these for eyeliners. Like, I love it. The pomades in here are exceptional, like exceptional. If you want an eye look that literally is super easy to use, like formula's super easy to use, easy to blend out, long lasting, impeccable on the eyes, and has zero fallout, use these pomades because they are amazing. Like, I've done a heap of looks with this palette as its companion and I love them. The mattes are blendable. Every single thing about this palette is like amazing. I actually think this is I think this might nearly be my favorite palette that I've bought this year, and I know it has no sparkles, it seems quite boring, but the formula is so innovative and impeccable, and it is so multi-use. I feel like I have already gotten every single cent worth of this palette, so this is the one I recommend the most. Now, if you are looking for a Pat McGrath Labs palette full of special shades but with some variety, I recommend this one. This is the Lightwork Volume 5 I Am palette from Danessa Myricks, and actually this look is look number 4 from my 5 Looks 1 palette using this one, and that will already be up on my channel. And I used these 3 metallic shades with the Defining Neutrals palette today. I think this is insane. Insane. Like, these shadows, like, it's not going to do it justice on camera, truly. These shadows are so mesmerizing. They are so mesmerizing. Even this one looks like a straight peach in the pan. I did this as a halo eye. I think it's like look 1 of my 5 looks. And throughout the day when I was like shifting in low lighting, I had no idea that this is actually like a multi-chrome and it shifts kind of like goldy green. It's insanely beautiful. This whole palette is insanely beautiful. The shades are so shifty. Even this has like a green shift to it on the eye. It's like, it's magical. It's truly magical. The colors and the shifts are unlike anything I've used. The only caveat I have is this has a lot of fallout. Now, I find once it's on my eyes and like mascara and everything's done, I don't get any fallout like once my makeup's complete. But when I'm completing the look, so as I'm applying the metallics, I get so much glitter fallout. I really, really do. And I'm using it with an intensifier stick from Pat McGrath Labs, and I wet my brush. So if anyone has any tips around how I can further decrease this, because I am trying everything in my power, it's a lot. Like, even for me, it's a lot of glitter fallout. For me though, I do my eyes first, so, you know, I just wipe it off. It really is fine. Everything still comes together beautifully, but I do know that that will bother a lot of people, especially people that don't do their, that do their base first. It might be too much fallout. Again, not when you're wearing it. Like, not as I wear it through the day. I will not get any glitter on my face as I'm wearing it through the day, just in application alone. But for me, I will say the shades are so incredible and special that it's worth it. The next big palette, I've been getting a lot of questions about this, is the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude versus the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes palette. and which one I prefer. So I think I did a 3 looks and an initial review of this palette, which is the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude. And then I also have this one right here, which I have a review on. And if you follow me on Instagram, I actually did a few looks a couple of weeks ago, or whenever this got re-released, on my stories. I always kind of post, like, not always, but most days I post like my makeup look of the day, and that's where you can kind of see me use some other palettes and stuff that maybe I'm not doing videos on at the moment, and I use this one. And I have been getting a lot of questions asking me, like, which one do I prefer? I personally prefer the Natasha Denona one because, I don't know, I like the formulas in the Natasha Denona one more. I like the shade variety. It has, like, the mattes are a little bit better in my opinion. I love that she's got the sparkling foiled and the sparkling wet formulas plus the straight metallics. For me, this kind of palette from Natasha Denona is pure perfection. Like, but if you are a deeper skin tone, it's really not going to suit you, I don't believe, unless you use this as a companion palette to, say, other palettes to use for, like, deeper shades. But for my skin tone, it really is kind of like my dream kind of neutral palette. So I personally recommend this one, because I think the Mario is actually just a bit more expensive. And I think when I take that into consideration, for me in Australian dollars anyway, I should say, the Mario is about $20 more. I much prefer the formula of the Natasha Denona one. You can also pop the shades out of the Natasha Denona one, sorry, and like mix and match them around with other palettes, and you just get more of a variety. Whereas with this one, I do find, even though it looks like there's deeper shades, I personally don't find there's actually a lot of dimension between these mattes. And I do really like the metallics, but you just get more of an option in the Natasha Denona one, and it's cheaper. So I personally prefer that. I also really like this one, the Natasha Denona Yucca palette. I think this is amazing. I really do. I think it's really unique. Again, it's got that sparkling foiled formula in here. I love the greens and the olives and the mustards and these oranges. I think this is a really cool palette. Something quite unique to my collection personally. It performs impeccably, and yeah, I really think that the Yucca is still one of the best palettes released this year. And then if you are someone that just loves an easy breezy quad, I know that the Sephora US just got the new YSL quads. These still have actually not come out in Australia. This is 100 Storadolls. I think this is absolutely beautiful. The formula of this is second to none. It is like a cream but powder, like suede. Suede is the right word. Formula. It will suit mature lids, textured lids, any kind of lid really. It will look absolutely stunning. The formula basically blends itself. It's very long wearing, and this metallic shade, you can build this up to be quite sparkly, or you can kind of like tame it down. You can use every single one of these shades as one and dones. Like, it's such a gorgeous little quad, so easy to use, so easy to travel with. I took this traveling with me this year and it was just beautiful. And then last but not least, I am going to mention my favorite Tom Ford quad of all time, which is Rose Topaz. This is the cream formula. I absolutely love and adore this quad. Like, I've hit pan on this shade. This is like my go-to. Like, if I'm in a rush, I just want to pick a palette and I can put it on with my eyes closed, this is the quad that I always reach for. I usually put this all over the lid, deepen my crease and my outer corner on a little bit with that, and then this all over the lid, or like tap this over and then put this in the inner corner. It is such an easy, fuss-free formula. If you're looking for a wham bam sparkly shade, not for you. Very more of a tame, subtle formula, but just flawless. The cream formula from Tom Ford is flawless, no fallout. Perfect for mature lids again. I really love this. I've had this for quite some time. I actually bought this when I got married in April 2022. And this has not changed from my number one. And when I tell you my Tom Ford quad collection has expanded dramatically since I got this, this still remains number one. It is my absolute favorite quad from him, or from the brand. Because I don't actually think Tom Ford has anything to do with his brand, his makeup brand. I don't actually have a favorite mascara per se at Sephora right now. If I was shopping the 20% off sale, I would be picking up that little mini mascara set that they do at this time of year, the like Sephora favorites with all the different brands, and then you get a full size for free. That's what I'd be picking up personally, just to try some, but I don't have one that I would recommend personally, apart from like Benefit Bad Girl Bang and maybe the Lancome Lashy Doll. I also do like the Rare Beauty, but my favorite mascara is the Victoria Beckham Future Lash for reference, and the Rabanne is really coming in a hot close second there. Third, Bad Gal Bang. So that's just a reference point. I recommend the Rare Beauty eye primer though. It is still my favorite eye primer. The Pat McGrath Labs Skin Fetish eye primer is also equally as good. However, you will notice there'll be nothing Pat McGrath Labs in this video because I recommend shopping from the Pat McGrath Labs website directly during the Black Friday sales, because she usually does between like 30 to 40% off. So that's where you get the best deal. So I recommend shopping through her directly. But I love the Rare Beauty eye primer. Great for dry lids, mature lids, textured lids, any lids. It's great for any lids. I think if you have oily lids, you might actually like the NARS Smudge Proof eye primer better because that's a little bit drier, but I don't know. I cannot get enough. This is my second one. I think you can, I don't know if you can see, but I'm almost through this one. I absolutely love it. I lied, there is one Pat McGrath Labs product in this video and I highly recommend picking this up. Like, this is probably the #1 product I recommend out of all of them. I know it's so random. And the reason why I say pick it up from the Sephora sale is because up until as I speak right now, this product is actually not on the Pat McGrath Labs website. I'm hoping to everything that it's just because they're waiting for it to come back in stock and not that it's discontinued. This is the Pat McGrath Labs Intensify Stick. It is still available on the Sephora website. I've already picked up backups of these just in case they're discontinuing them. If you have watched any single one of my videos since I got this stick, I believe she brought this out with Moonlit Seduction or Utopian Dream, actually, I think. Ever since I bought this, whenever it was released, I got it on release day, I have used it in every look pretty much. This is like the one product you will see in every single one of my videos. I love it. I swear by it. It makes such a difference to my eye looks, especially for my hooded eyes. It stops any fallout. Like, I don't get fallout on the face from glitter or anything with my hooded eyes because of this stick. It does intensify them. This is such a magical product and I will riot if it is discontinued. First world problems, but you know what I mean. It's all just a bit of makeup fun, isn't it? I have two eyeliners that I actually really recommend. These are newer ones. The first one is the House Labs eyeliner in the color Sage Matte. I picked this up from when I got this House Labs concealer. And I really like this. It's this beautiful, like, minty sage color. And I find this to be really non-irritating in the lower waterline. So I can wear this all day and it doesn't irritate my eyes, which is really, really important. My all-time favorite eyeliners, Victoria Beckham Satin Cajoles, and equally the Lisa Aldridge eyeliners because they're pretty much the same formula. They are the best eyeliners I've ever used in my life, hands down, for my sensitive eyes. However, I will give a shout out to that House Labs, like this color, because it does not irritate my eyes at all. And then I recently got into like kind of experimenting with winged eyeshadow from my friend Blair. And I picked this up and I have been that impressed with it. This is the Stila Stay All Day Dual Ended Liquid Eyeliner. I got the shade Mojito. So this one right here, so that it's got black on one side and then this like greeny color on the other. This is amazing for liquid eyeliner. The black pen is that thin and fine that it can create the softest, smallest little wing, or you can build it up. It doesn't smudge. I've created the easiest wings of my life using this product. So if you are looking for like a foolproof liquid eyeliner, especially if you have like hooded eyes and need something that's really thin, I recommend this. And then you get the added bonus of like the green on the other side, but there is other colors as well. I just obviously love a green. If you know me, you know that. I'm gonna go out of order and actually do lips now, and then we will go into like other face products. I don't have the other pair of this because it's downstairs, and if I'm honest, I'm just too lazy, so I'll put a little picture right here. But when I tell you I've fallen in love with these little Fenty Beauty, what are they called? Plush Pudding Intensive Recovery Lip Masks. I got the Christmas set that they dropped. Fenty Beauty will be one that I would keep an eye out on Black Friday as well, because she usually does about 30 to 35% off her website. But this like lip mask has become my all-time favorite lip mask. Not exaggerating, like truly has. I got the cherry one as well, like as you can see from the little pic here. The cherry one lives downstairs. The cherry one's my favorite. I love the smell of it and everything. It has no fragrance and it doesn't taste weird. It is so long wearing, so so it provides nourishment for such a long time. It's not goopy or sticky. I just love this little applicator too, how you just like twist it and it comes up. I love these. Like as soon as I run out of these, I will hands down be repurchasing this product. Like even over my Laneige like overnight mask and everything. These are my favorite now. Like I am obsessed. Speaking of another Fenty product, the new Holiday Fenty Gloss Bomb, the hologram one. This is really pretty. If you love a gloss bomb and you want something that's a little bit different, I really recommend this. The packaging's adorable. It's that formula you know and love, and I love the like clear hologram shift. It is really, really cool. A lip trio that you see me use that often on this channel, it's not even funny, is the Natasha Denona My Dream Lip Trio. So this is the lip liner, the lipstick, and the gloss. So all three products. I believe this is limited edition, but I'm hoping she's going to make it permanent because the lipstick and stuff keeps selling out. So that is the lip liner, the lipstick, and the gloss. I even picked up a backup lipstick just in case, and this one's almost done. And I honestly hardly ever go through lipsticks ever because I don't know, I'm more of a gloss person if I'm honest. Like through the day, I'll put it on at the start of the day, and then like as the day goes on, I usually just use the gloss. But I love those, especially if you're like my skin tone. It's just this lip combo that goes with everything, literally everything. Like you can just pretty much have that one lip combo and that is it if you are my skin tone or like these kinds of tones, and it will just suit everything. I absolutely love it. And I can't get enough of it, clearly, because I brought it back up. A couple of Makeup by Mario lip products that I think are incredible. His lip liners, I have the shade Toasty, and this is stunning. Absolutely stunning. This perfect kind of almost warm chestnut brown, but it's also a little bit neutral leaning, so it's not so far on the warm side that it's like too warm. Such a good formula, really long wearing, you know, stays put. It's just, I really like the shade too. It goes with so many different products. Like I'd be interested in picking up more shades of this one. For some reason, this hasn't ever released in Australia. I do not know why. So I can only get it off like his website or whatever. But I really recommend this because you can get it on Sephora US. This lip product as well, the lip suedes from him, or the lip creams. I think it's a lip suede. Yeah, Ultra Lip Suede. This is in the shade Muted Mauve. And if you want something that's kind of like the Natasha Denona My Dream lipstick, but a bit deeper and more, I guess, neutrally, then you want to get yourself this lip cream. It is absolutely gorgeous. I love this. When I want something that's got just a little bit more depth to it, this is the one that I use. It's not like the longest wearing liquid lip, but it doesn't give you butthole lips or anything like that. It's not really a liquid lip, it's a suede. So you will need to reapply it, but it is quite long wearing. And it's like longer wearing than a satin lipstick, but it's very smoothing and hydrating on the lips and everything. But I love that shade Muted Mauve. And I feel like a lot of people probably would skip over Muted Mauve just because it says mauve, but it's not a mauve. It's really just like a neutrally like nudie color. And then this gloss, Golden Nude, is so good if you're just wanting kind of like a golden nude gloss to put over any kind of lip combo. It's absolutely perfect. It is a true gloss, so it is hydrating on the lips, but it definitely has that gloss feeling. It's a little bit thicker, kind of think like a gloss bomb formula in a way, but a little bit not less sticky actually. It's beautiful. It's perfect. It goes with so many lip combos. I really recommend that one. A lip gloss that I think doesn't get the hype that it should probably get given the shade range is actually this Stila Cosmetics Plumping Lip Glaze. So I don't know if these are new. I think these shades are new. I think they've launched initial shades. So it's like a twisty top, which is a little bit annoying. But they have all these like neutral brown shades now. And this is the shade Toffee. And it is stunning. Like stunning. It's very lightweight on the lips, but it does have that icy cool plumping feeling. So if you don't like the icy cool plumping feeling, you won't like it. But it's such a nice kind of browny, nudie color on the lips. You can wear it just with like a lip liner and that on its own, or like over the top of a lipstick, obviously, or just straight up on its own. And it just adds a little oomph to your lips. Stunning. Pretty long wearing for a gloss too, to be honest with you. And just is really juicy, but I just love the shade of it. So that's another rec. I I also recommend these. These are the NARS Afterglow Sensual Lipsticks. I have the shade Breathless. I also have Dolce Vita, but it's in my handbag downstairs, and I'll be honest, I can't be bothered getting it. So this is Breathless. Breathless is actually the one that I recommend the most if you're close to my skin tone, just because I find this is a really good lip product for when I want a lip color, but I don't want anything overpowering. I just want it to be a little bit subtle. Then, like, say for example, I've got like a really bold eye, like even something like this. I can put this on and it just gives me this wash of kind of like a neutral nude color on the lips, but nothing overpowering. So everything else on my face still kind of like stands out the most. It's very hydrating. It's really not long wearing though, so just keep that in mind. It is not long wearing, but I don't mind reapplying it like a balm kind of thing throughout the day. But I just really, really like that formula. It's also very fuss free. And then I will give a shout out to the Hourglass Unlocked Satin Edit, I think they're called, lipsticks. I have Oasis and Tide. So this one right here is Tide. This one right here is Oasis. So this one has more of like a neutral undertone. This is more of like a pinky undertone. So both nudes, you know, I very much have a type when it comes to lipstick shades. I just really like this formula. It's very hydrating. It's very opaque. But it's like really easy to use, really easy to apply. Don't worry about like putting it all over your face or anything. You probably don't have to use a lip liner if you really don't want to with it. It's pretty long wearing for a satin lipstick. You are going to have to reapply, say after like 2 hours, but it does a pretty decent job of staying on the lips for a longish time for a satin. And it's just a comfortable formula. So I don't know, and the shade range is really beautiful. And like, just to give you some context, it kind of takes a lot for me to really care about a lip product because, like I said, I'm really mainly a gloss type person, and if I'm gonna wear a lip product, it's gotta be something that's really quite fuss-free and easy for me. So when I kind of get like stuck on a lipstick or a lipstick formula, that's when it really stands out to me and I'm like, I just really like this for some reason or another, you know? That is my 2 cents on lip products. Now let's go ahead and move into like primer, foundation, so on and so forth. I completely lied. There is one more lip product that I want to recommend, and that is the Milk Makeup Lip Oil. I have the shade Work Trip. I love this stuff. This is really, really a lovely, lightweight, really nourishing, really hydrating lip oil formula. Not sticky or anything. You don't feel like your hair's gonna stick to your face or anything. And I really like the shade range of this. Like, I'd be very interested in picking up more shades of these. I also have on the way, it just hasn't arrived yet, the new Say lip oils, so stay tuned for my thoughts on that. But I really, really recommend this one if you're looking for a really good quality lip oil. All of the primers that I have to show you guys are kind of like oldies, but they're the ones that I stand behind for what you can get from Sephora. The Milk Makeup Hydro Grip, I already have a backup. Like, honestly, I talk about this all the time. It is still one of my all-time favorite primers. If you want something that has that tack to it, that your foundation is just going to go to your face, then this is the one that you want to get. It is incredible. If you mainly wear tinted oils or really, really hydrating, I want to say greasy for lack of a word, but like that oil type formula serum foundations, probably don't pick this up because it doesn't work well with, say, like a tinted face oil or those kind of like serum-y type formulas. But if you are using just kind of like your normal liquid foundations, cream foundations, it does work really well with that. If you find the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip way just too tacky and grippy for you and a bit too much, try the KVD Pore Refining Primer. How I like in this one is it is like a kind of like a 60% less or maybe 50% less tacky version of the Milk Hydro Grip. Now, I don't personally find this smooths my pores, sorry. I really don't, but I do just find that this kind of, it does, I guess, apply an even layer of pore refining to the skin, just not like a blank, you know, I'll talk about a pore primer that really just like actually gives you kind of like a filter through your T-zone. So this isn't fully that, but I do love the slight tact that this gives to your skin and like allows your foundation to really grip. I just find whenever I use this, my foundation looks really perfected and it really does last a long time, but it's not as tacky as the Hydro Grip. Tried and true Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas. This is my third one of these bottles. I absolutely love it. It's just a really good product if you want something that's a little bit hydrating, a little bit smoothing. It doesn't have any grip to it like the other two primers I just mentioned, but I always find my foundation looks absolutely beautiful under this. I can't describe it because it does really extend the wear time of my foundation as well, but it's different to that tacky feeling from the first two primers. Not overly pore smoothing, but a little bit more than the KVD in my personal opinion. And just this perfect level of like hydration, but because I have combination skin, it doesn't make me oilier. So yeah, like I said, this is my third bottle. I love it. This is my all-time favorite pore smoothing primer. So this is the Tarte Pore Smoothing Primer, and I have gone through, I think, like 3 of these. As you can see, this one's already empty. We actually have a Sephora 20% off sale starting in Australia tomorrow my time, so I'm actually going to be picking up another one of these. If you want a blank canvas, if you want your pores smoothed to perfection, this is the only pore filling primer I have ever used that has done that, ever. Others have like kind of done it. This just really... it blanks them. It blanks them straight out to the point where you pretty much have a filter, which is kind of the effect that I'm going for. So this is the only pore filling primer specifically that I recommend. And like I said, I've gone through so many, and I'm picking up a new one tomorrow in the sale. So happy days for me. Foundation. I've talked about this a lot. It was the foundation that I wore on my wedding day, the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. My normal shade is Mont Blanc, but for some reason, if I have a tan, is DeVille, or I just need to mix these two together, but I can just use Mont Blanc pretty much as well. Like, this is my go-to shade. I love this. You guys know I love this. If you've followed my channel for a while, I think this is one of the best foundations on the market. Like, I don't know if you can see, even like this one's down to here. Again, wore it on my wedding day. That's how much I love it. I wore this foundation on when my best friend got married as well, and I was her maid of honor. Like, it's just my go-to. It looks like your skin, but better. It's not super smoothing, but it's also not texturizing or anything. It does have a light smoothing effect, but it's the way it wears. It's just such a reliable, long wearing foundation that provides a like medium coverage. Doesn't look cakey, doesn't settle in fine lines, wears incredibly, and just looks like your skin. Like, it's such a good foundation. I think if you have super oily skin though, I'm not sure if you would really love that one. One that I think if you have oily skin, you might actually quite like is this one. This is the KVD Good Apples Serum Foundation. A lot of you might remember the KVD Balm Foundation, which is the compact. I actually have that in my collection as well. And I do really like that. And I think if you have extra dry skin, you'll probably really like that one, maybe more than this one. But for me, this one has, and I do, like, don't get me wrong, I love the balm one, but this one has surpassed it for me. This is one of my top 3 favorite foundations. I have the shade 6, or light 6, I think it is, and light 12. If I'm tanned for some reason, light 12 is my shade. If not, light 6 is my shade, or I can mix them, you know, I just range between this spectrum. But light 6 is pretty good. I love this. It is such, okay, this is the most versatile foundation I own, in the sense that I can make this foundation really quite sheer, light coverage on the skin, but I can also build this up to like a full coverage, and it will blank everything out in a nice way, but it is that thin. Like, the serum part of this foundation is what makes it so special, in the sense that you really can make this full coverage, but it stays so lightweight and thin on your skin that it still feels like you're not wearing any makeup at all. It is smoothing, like, it gives you a really nice smoothing effect to the skin, non-texturizing, long wearing. Like, everything about this is wonderful. Like, it's truly an incredible foundation. And then the last foundation I will recommend for this video is the new Lancome Tint Idole formula foundation. Now, this isn't like necessarily a new foundation, but it's a new formula that they just released, and this is magical. It's definitely the most matte formula out of the 3 that I've just spoken about, but it's not matte in the sense that it's drying at all. It can definitely be full coverage. I like to use it as like a solid medium, but it can go up to your full coverage. Again, doesn't settle in fine lines, smooths the skin beautifully, like creates this filter effect. Very lightweight on the skin. Really long wearing, like absolutely flawless. It's a little bit of a thicker formula than the KVD Serum Foundation, but I don't know what it is about this foundation, but whenever I wear it, my skin just looks absolutely perfect. 2 color correctors. First up, the Natasha Denona High Glam Color Corrector. You may get a better discount on Natasha Denona's website directly for Black Friday, but if you want to pick it up off Sephora, really recommend this. I have the shade C1. I think this is a wonderful color corrector. It doesn't disturb your concealer formula. Really does a great job of color correcting. I love this one. I can't stop using it. And then This one, formula-wise, I think is so impeccable. I just need them to release a bigger shade range of it, but if you have a medium up skin tone, I recommend this color corrector. It's the Givenchy color corrector. This is so good. This is the shade Peach. Now, this shade is too deep for me, but formula-wise, my lord, is it good. If, like I said, if this shade is going to suit you, I recommend this. It is lightweight on the under eye, hydrating, smoothing, does a really good job of color correcting in the sense that, like, if it's your skin tone, it's going to work so well for you, and it's just such a beautiful formula. So I'm bummed that it's too deep for me. My two favorite concealers of all time is the Huda Beauty Faux Filter and the Urban Decay Quickie Concealer. I love these. I stand by these. I will have my shades down below. I usually have to get two shades to mix them together to make the perfect one, but these are both very lightweight on the under eyes, very smoothing, not drying or anything. They're not overly hydrating, so you know, if you're looking for a hydrating formula, these aren't it for you, but they're not drying in any way. They feel like you're basically wearing nothing on the under eye, but when I tell you that these are the most full coverage concealers I've ever tried, like, they seriously are. The faux filter is actually what I have on my under eyes today, and normally I have to mix quite a few concealers together to get the level of coverage that I'm looking for, but I don't with these. I can just wear these on their own. They look perfect. Like, I will happily give away the rest of my concealer collection if I had to, just to keep these. These are my all-time go-tos. But if they are too full coverage for you and you are not looking for that and you're looking for something more of a medium hydrating kind of formula, then I would suggest these two. This is the Tower 28 concealer and the Givenchy Prisme Libre concealer. I really think these are absolutely lovely, and actually something that I've forgotten to mention so far is I just recently did a speed reviews of all the new complexion products that I've been testing for the last 4 months, and I do talk about, like, the Tower 28 in more in depth, especially in that video, so I will link that down below as well. If I forget, it's on the channel just recently. Like, I highly recommend checking that out, and I talk about, like, all of the new release products that I've tried recently. Both of these are absolutely lovely. I would say the Givenchy, if you're looking for something a little bit thicker and a little bit more hydrating on the under eye, probably go with this one, but this one is a very lightweight, smoothing, hydrating formula. I would say the Givenchy probably has a touch more coverage, but I really like using the Tower 28 for, like, my no makeup days, or, you know, I do mix this with, say, like, my Huda or my Quickie concealers just to kind of get some extra hydration in them if I'm feeling like it. I just think these are really nice concealers. They both have a solid medium coverage though, so I would almost say light medium and then medium. Let's talk about powders now. So the Makeup Forever HD Skin Matte Velvet Powder Foundation. Good lord, I love this. I love this so much. So I have two shades now. I have one N06, which is this one. This is my all over shade. So if I wanted to use this just as a powder foundation, it's what I use. If I use it as like a setting kind of powder, this is the one that I use for all over my face. I love it. If you want it as a powder foundation, my lord, is it full coverage? Wow. And use this sponge. Trust me, it is creme de la creme as a powder foundation, honestly. But I actually like to use this with my, so I've talked about this a bit recently, where my skin isn't taking a like heavy full coverage foundation anymore, or just like a more fuller coverage foundation. It's really liking a light coverage. That's what's looking its best, but I just have areas where I would like a little bit more coverage, and that's what I use this for. So I'll put my light coverage foundation on, and then I will just get like my BK fluffy brush or whatever and like use this to set my face, and it just adds this beautiful soft layer of extra coverage but also blurring and long wearing to the skin. Like, I use this almost every day. I absolutely love it. As well as I picked up one N00 for my under eyes. It's actually what I've got on my under eyes today, just for times when I want to add a little bit of brightening and like extra coverage on my under eyes or through my T-zone, especially sometimes if I have like a darker concealer on or something for whatever reason because the shade's not working. I really like that. Two loose setting powders that you just can't go past: the Milk Makeup Pore Eclipse and the Laura Mercier Ultra Blur. Both of these are talc-free formulas. I recommend both equally. Like, they are so good. either which one, just like pick whatever's tickling your pickle, to be honest with you. I used to love the Milk Makeup Blur setting powder back in the day when they had that, and I was devastated when they took it away. And you know, when they brought this back, I knew instantly I was going to pick it up because I loved that old one, and it's just as good, if not better. Very smoothing on the skin, very, very lightweight. It's very, very finely milled, so it's not going to feel heavy or cakey on the skin whatsoever, but it is going to set and forget your face, trust me. And if you have like dry, normal skin, you could just use just a small amount on a brush and set strategically, and it's going to look really lovely for you. But if you have oily skin, you use like a powder puff and like really press it in, and you will not have to touch up your makeup throughout the day probably. It is so good for that. And same with the Laura Mercier Ultra Blur, just such a good quality like setting powder, in the sense that you can really tailor it to skin types. Again, if you have oily skin, use a powder puff and really press it in. It's going to make your like makeup just set and just keep those oils at bay for longer. If you have dry skin, you can just tailor it with like a brush or whatever, and it is very blurring, and I just like, these are my go-to powders. Obviously, I still absolutely love and adore my Kosas Cloud Set powder. You know, I constantly am repurchasing them because I'm going through them so often. So, but I've talked about them so many times, I want to talk about some new ones. Moving on to bronzers. Now, my all-time favorite cream bronzer is still the NARS Laguna cream bronzer. I have the shade 1. I've hit pan, and to be honest with you, it is kind of hard for me to recommend anything else just because this is my all-time favorite. But some others that I've really been enjoying. I was actually going to suggest the Tarte Sculpt Tape, but I just realized that this is an Ulta exclusive. But I do recommend the Tarte Sculpt Tape. Anyway, one that's really expensive, so if you can get it on a discount, then, you know, I do recommend it. And I really, you know, this gets so much freaking hype, and especially by a lot of makeup artists and everything, and I'm going to concede defeat. It really, really, really does live up to the hype. And it's the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate. I have Intensity 1. They have expanded this shade range finally. It is so good. It really is. I even love the highlight in this. The cream bronzer here, it is more of like a bronzer undertone, I would say, for my skin tone personally, but it's beautiful. Like, it's so emollient. You need just the smallest amount. It is so blendable and just like blurring and soft and ethereal on the skin. Like, it really doesn't look like you're wearing anything at all, but it just shades perfectly. And then the cream highlight goes really well over powder if you like to use your cream highlights like I do over powder, and it looks so natural, and like I'm just an angel glowing from within on the skin. Like, I have been utterly blown away by this product, so I recommend that one. If you're looking for a straight contour, then this little Milk makeup stick is really cute. Now, it's teeny tiny for the price of it, I'll give you that, like, it really is, but it is like one of the few straight contour shades that I own. It really has that gray undertone. I have the shade Toasted, and I really like it. Like, if you like the Milk makeup bronzer stick, I should say, it's like the same formula, just different undertone kind of thing, and I really do, when I want a straight contour, I really do quite like this little stick. Powder bronzers, I haven't really tried any new ones really from Sephora. I think last time I suggested the House Labs bronzer, and I kind of still stand by that. I really, really, really like the House Labs bronzer. I have the shade Light Level 3 because it's like a neutral undertone. It's like this gel like mousse. Not mousse, but it's like a gel-like kind of formula, but then as you put it on your face, it goes to a powder. It's so blurring and lovely on the skin. If you wanted to, I recommend waiting for a sale, but if you wanted to, the Pat McGrath Labs bronzer is actually one of my favorite bronzers in my entire collection. I really, really do love this one. I have the shade Nude Honey, so definitely worth a look at if you don't want to wait for the Pat sale or you don't want to order off the Pat website. And then another fancy one that actually you guys made me pick up. You kept hounding me to get this bronzer because you reckon it was amazing, and okay, I concede defeat. It is flawless. The Tom Ford Glow Bronzer. So this is the Glow Bronzer in the shade Terra. I've used it in quite a few videos recently. It's such a gorgeous shade. It's like this kind of perfect undertone for me, and it's so blurring and smoothing and lightweight on the skin, and it's perfectly buildable, and I love it. Absolutely love it. I really do. So if you have been wanting to splurge on something luxury from Tom Ford, I really do recommend the bronzer. I actually only have 2 highlighters that I want to show you guys that I really stand by. And the first one I've talked about a million times. I'm pretty sure I talked about it in last year's video. The Say Super Glowy Gel. I absolutely love this stuff. I actually just ordered, they released their holiday set of like the two Super Glowy Gels. I ordered that from Cult Beauty, so I'm just waiting for it to come in the mail. This one is so good because it has just a really lightweight gel-like formula and it doesn't have any color to it. So it really just looks like your own glow from within in a beautiful way. Goes really well over powder. I like to use my cream highlights over powder, just FYI. It never lifts my foundation or anything. It's really long wearing and it's just absolutely undetectable on the skin in the best way possible. And it's just, again, that ethereal glow. Like, I truly love this. And then also the Westman Atelier Super Liquid highlighters. I have Peau de Pêche. I love this so much. Like, again, just one of these like really soft, ethereal, lit from within highlighter. It goes really well over powder. So I don't know if you can really see it there, but just see how natural it looks. You can build this one up to be, well, you can build both of these up to be honest, but especially this Western one, you can build this up to be a little bit more blinding, but it just looks so natural on the skin. And if you have dry skin, you'll really like putting this on underneath as like a primer or mixed in with your foundation. And I know Michelle Wong even puts a little bit of this on as like a color corrector under her eyes because she has really dry skin. But for me, this is just such a natural highlight. And if you are someone that loves a highlight but maybe has textured skin and really just doesn't want to, you know, overemphasize it, or you have really dry skin, then this is definitely something to worth looking at. And last but not least, we are going to talk about blush. I'm actually going to do powder blush first because I have less powder blushes than I do cream. Number one is the, well, not number one, but just the first one I'm going to talk about, the Givenchy Prisme Libre loose powder blushes. I have Organza Cien. Go ahead, sorry, and do yourself a favor and get yourself one of these blushes. Oh my lord. Again, like, you're gonna sense a theme. Well, you've probably already sensed it, where it's like blurring, soft, buildable, ethereal looking are the words that I use, and that's just, it's just divine. Like, and the shade is so gorgeous of Organza Cien. I love it. This blush brings me so much joy to use, and it just, yeah, it just looks so soft and natural and beautiful on the skin. I really love this one, as well as these are like probably my favorite blush formulas in my collection at the moment. It's hard to say because I really have so many blush formulas that I truly love, but these really do, like, I just always, when I'm stuck, I'm like, yep, these are my go-to. And it is the new Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Glow blushes, sorry. So this one's shade 10 and this one's shade 30. I just love these. Again, like, soft, ethereal, blurry, blah, blah, blah. These ones have a little bit more glow to them, but like, I don't like a glowy blush, just FYI, I really do not. But it is like, when I say glow, it's more just a healthy glow. Like, it's not like a highlighter glow, it's not a metallic glow, nothing like that. It just really looks like you've moisturized your skin really well in a good way, but it's still very smoothing and non-texturizing on the skin, very long wearing. The shades are beautiful. I just saw that they released a holiday duo as well in Sephora US. I'm really hoping we get it in Australia. And it's got shades 50 and 51 in it, and if I can get my hands on that, you bet your bottom dollar I will be. I really recommend these. And then the last powder blush I will recommend is this Dior Backstage Rosy Glow blush in Rosewood. I just really like this. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I personally like this one so much more than like the hot, or like, yeah, the cool tone pink one, because I just find like this, I mean, you've sensed a theme, right? When you just saw those other blushes in this one, like, I just love a pinky nudie blush, right? It just goes with everything. And again, very blurring and soft and buildable. Like, I don't have to think hard about using any of these formulas because they're just very soft and buildable. I don't have to worry about like accidentally putting too much on and looking like a clown. And it's just, they're just gorgeous and they wear so well, and I just love them. They bring me so much joy, and that's what it's all about. So I love those. Now let's talk about cream blushes. Shall we just get the obvious out of the way? The Rare Beauty Liquid Pinch blushes. Like, I really just got this intense love affair with them. Gone from like hating them to absolutely loving them. So I now have 5. I don't have all of them, obviously. I would love to to get all of them. So I recommend any shade really. I like the dew ones more than the matte ones. My actual favorite shade out of all of them is Virtue. I love Virtue, and you'll see why. It's just like this kind of like terracotta nude, and I just love that. And then honestly, I don't know, I love all of them after that. So I have Encourage. I'll just swatch them, shall I? Okay, so these are them all swatched. So that's Virtue, Encourage, Worth, Hope, and Happy. And honestly, I would just pick whatever shade you like, really. I don't think it matters. They're all gorgeous. Virtue is my favorite though, just because I like that. It's just perfect for the everyday, but I love every single one of them and I want to collect them all. Probably my second favorite cream blush formula is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blurring Blushes. This one's Jubilee and the other one I have is Rosé and Brunch, and I love these so much. I'd love to see her even just expand the shade range of these further. I don't know what shades I'm looking for in particular, but I just want more to choose from, I guess. So this one is Jubilee and this one is Rosé and Brunch. I have a type, right? I get it. There's no need to comment you have all the same shades in the same, and you have all these blushes in the same shade. I'm aware. It's the formulas I like to try, okay? It's a judgment-free zone. The thing that I like most about these Danessa Myricks blushes is one, so also for context, I like to put my cream blush over powder as well. So all of the blushes that I'm going to show you, they don't lift my powder or anything. They don't lift anything when I put them over powder. They're very easy to apply. But I love these because these also have that upslate technology that Danessa Myricks has in her Yummy Skin Blurring Balm. And so it's very hydrating on the skin, but also oil controlling. And I just find these are very, very blurring on the skin, and they almost like a cream to powder-ish type formula. Ish. They still hold their cream, but ish. Very, very lightweight and undetectable on the skin. Like you don't feel like you're wearing anything heavy. And these are very, very pigmented though. So you really want to start small and build up because they are suited to every skin tone. So really these are suited to every skin tone because of how much pigment's in them. But you just want to be mindful of that when you apply them. Like a small amount goes a long way. And that's the same as the Rare Beauty blushes as well. Like less is more with them. If you are looking for a blush that's probably a little bit more foolproof, like if that kind of makes you nervous, and it's not, it's just you just want to be mindful but not to just go straight in like with a lot of product. But if you want something that's, I guess, let's say beginner proof and just you don't have to think about it as much, then you probably want to go for like the Makeup by Mario blush veils. So I have two. I have the shades Perfect Pink and Barely Blushing, yeah. And so these are really, really gorgeous. If you like his Skin Enhancer formula, then which is like that lighter weight cream bronzer that he brought out with, then you'll really like these. I don't know if you can even see, my hands all red now. They are a lot more of a softer sheer formula, so you will need to build these up a little bit more. If you are a deeper skin tone or a medium skin tone, I would go for something more like this one than this one. It probably won't show up on your skin tone. I mean, I could be wrong about that. I'm not a makeup artist. But these are just beautiful, very, very natural, very easy to use. Again, goes really well over powder, under powder, no makeup days, all that kind of stuff. Like, these are a great, great formula. And last but not least, a brand that I just don't think has been getting the hype that it probably deserves lately. And I get it because even me, when I tried this brand, I tried quite a few of their products and some of them were just like absolute no's for me. But then the ones that are like absolute hits, like they hit, you know what I mean? And again, their holiday gift sets that they're releasing are fire this year. I really hope they're coming to Sephora Australia. I have asked the brand on Instagram, but they haven't got back to me. But anyway, this is the LYS cream blush. This is the shade Kindness. I'm actually wearing this as my cream blush today. It's so good. I don't know how to describe these. How would I describe these? It's like, these are definitely a matte finish. So one, if you have oily skin, you definitely will like these ones probably more than the others, except the Danessa Myricks. But I just find it's very blurring as well. It's like a nice amount of buildable, so it's not going to be straight away like wham bam on the skin, but it will suit all skin tones, or there will be a shade that will suit all skin tones, sorry, in the collection. It's really, really, really long wearing, very blurring. It's a matte finish and it's really easy to apply. It goes really well over powder. Just, yeah, I don't know. And it's very, like, this is really, really affordable for like a Sephora brand. So yeah, I really recommend this one. And I know, I haven't looked at all of them properly, but I know one of the holiday gift sets is like 2 of the blushes and like a shimmer one in the cream version. And I really want to get my hands on that one as well. So anyway, these are my picks for blush. Okay, I think that is all of my Sephora picks for now. I'm sure there's things that I've missed and apologies if I have. honestly, go through my videos if you wish, and anything that I'm saying I love or whatever, then, and you can get it at Sephora, then there you go. Any of my other rec videos, like, they all still stand. Obviously, you know, there are other things that I absolutely love and adore in my collection as well, but you just can't get them at Sephora, so that would be why they're not mentioned. And if I've missed a category, it's probably that I either don't have a product in there that I'm like, that's rave worthy about at Sephora, or I just am like brows, for example, I kind of don't care. And if I would recommend anything for brows, honestly, it would be that Danessa Myricks Defining Neutrals palette. So yeah. Anyway, hopefully that was helpful or just fun in some way, shape or form. And let me know if you're thinking of shopping the sale and what you're thinking of picking up. And if you are not, that is also totally okay. We are all like, we don't need to compare ourselves to each other, okay? There's enough going on in the world. You do you make yourself happy. Do not let other people stress you out or make you feel FOMO or less than. It is just stuff at the end of the day. What matters is being kind and loving, you know what I mean? And so yeah, big hug to all of you. If you're watching to this point, you're an absolute legend. I appreciate you so much, truly, and I hope you have the most amazing day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next time. Bye.